Whether you're a small business owner or running an enterprise, managing payments is a sensitive and complex matter. When it comes to accepting and sending payments, you want security, speed, and choice. Setting up and integrating with each payment partner individually can be time-consuming. Your solution? Xendit, your secure payment gateway that simplifies online transactions for every business. Xendit is secure, easy to use, quick to integrate with, and supported by a world-class customer success team. Join hundreds of other growing businesses and get started with Xendit today.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Business Mirror's Freshly Brewed, a spin off of Coffee Club. Freshly Brewed features the latest business trends. If we find something interesting, we might even dabble into the lifestyle and even entertainment trends. We are streaming live on the Facebook pages of Business Mirror, Philippines Graphic and Cook Magazine, and on the YouTube channel of Business Mirror. For our third Freshly Brewed Xendit episode, we have two very special guests who will talk about how and why they started their businesses. Our first guest is Miggy Cruz, who is the owner of Hungry Homies. Hi, Miggy. Good morning.
Hello. Hi. Thanks for having me.
Okay. And our second guest is Chino Olaguer, the founder of Stance Philippines. Good morning, Chino. You're on mute, Chino. Huh? Okay.
Good
So, good
morning.
morning to the both of you. And let's start with Miggy. Please give us a little background about Hungry Homies and how you started it.
Well, Hungry Homies is actually like my homemade food business. Right now we're selling different kinds of burgers, and we do it every weekend during our weekend pop-ups. So right now, we're purely a digital based business. We have a website that you can go to at www.hungryhomies.ph. And basically, what you do is you pre order and reserve a slot for our weekend pop ups. And basically, we'll prepare your burgers every Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, okay. So, what do you do during the week, if you don't mind my
During the
asking?
during the week, kasi I'm also like a content creator.
Okay.
So like I also have like a different job on the side, but like given the whole setup with the pandemic, we felt that to keep the overhead low and
Okay.
maximize efforts, we allotted the weekends for our burger days.
Okay. How about you, Chino? How did you start Stance Philippines and why did you choose to go into this business? Office furniture, right?
Uh, yeah.
Okay.
So yes, Stance naman is we're an e-commerce company, and we began with office furniture, but as a whole company, we have much bigger aspirations actually. So just like maybe we sell mostly online, we're on stancephilippines.com, but our team has actually cooked up more brands and more products. We also sell sleep products, beds, mattresses, pillows on dreamcare.ph. We also have baby products. We're also coming out with home furniture as well on different sites, furnishphilippines.com and babystrides.ph. We started in 2017. I was fresh out of college.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. Actually, I was hell bent on working in government. I wanted to work in government forever.
Okay.
But my tita gave me a business book. It's called The 4 Hour Work Week. I don't know if you've read it, Miggy, but it was very practical. It wasn't like something that I always go back to even today. But it was a book that opened my eyes into seeing that, hey, you know what? I think it's possible to start a business. It was very practical, and at the same time, I kept on bumping into friends and random people who had their own businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And they would tell me about how fun it was and how rewarding it was. So I was like, hey, I think I can do that. I called two of my best friends and then I said, hey, let's start a business. Why we got into office furniture originally.
Yeah.
One, we were looking for something that was undersupplied. So
Okay.
something that, hey, I want that, but I can only get it in the States. I can only get it on Amazon. But secondly, we wanted something that resonated with us three as best friends as well. And we were all into productivity. We were all into self-improvement, trying to better yourself every day. So we began with office furniture, standing desks, if you're familiar, that help you work a bit better. So that's how we started.
Okay. Do you what do you look for in your furniture? What makes Stance Philippines furniture different from the other furniture that is being sold in the other stores?
Well, I think one big difference is how committed we are to always finding the best products out there. I think when we looked at our competitors, a lot of their furniture is pretty good, but it's a bit old. And in
Mm-hmm.
terms of how fast things develop globally, if you look at the States, they come out with new models like maybe 3, 4 times a year. While here in the Philippines, the variety and the options that you get would largely stay the same. So with us, we're constantly searching for, is there a new variety that's cheaper, that's sturdier, that has new features that Filipinos would really deserve. We
Okay.
saw a lot of items, not just with office furniture, but with our new brands,
Mm-hmm.
wherein they're really great products in the US or the UK, and they weren't really so available here online.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say that whatever we have is what we believe is the best in the world, and we're bringing it in the Philippines for the best price. At the same time, we also have a commitment to having the best value for money price we can give as well for our products.
Okay. Miggy, can you tell us more about your burgers? Why should I eat the burger of Hungry Homies and
Mhm.
not the other burgers that are available in the market?
Actually, like at the end of the day, I'm a burger fan. So
Mm-hmm.
if there's a good burger in the market, you'll see me try it also.
Uh-huh.
And like I honestly want to be like the purveyor of like good burgers here in Manila.
Okay.
If that makes any sense, I think like good burgers deserve like a place and space in the Philippines because I think we're all like burger loving country like
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day. Um, but I think what separates Hungry Homies from the other burgers is I think it's the community behind it. I
Okay.
think starting the business off during the pandemic was really challenging for us, and we made it. We started it out with like selling around 10 to 15 burgers.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't want to be big. Like we weren't even like considering like what happens when we become big. We just wanted to
Uh-huh.
take it
Uh-huh.
one day at a time, one weekend at a time. So we started out with 10, 15, and then we started ramping it up to like 50 to like
Mm-hmm.
100. So but even though we're growing, I think what
Mm-hmm.
makes our burgers different is that the personal touch that we put into each burger that comes out of our kitchen.
Okay.
Because like right now, it's still me who cooks the burgers, like most of the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
burgers for the homies that order.
Okay.
Um, so it's a family owned business, so my brothers, my sisters like help me out whenever
Mm-hmm.
like I need extra hands at home, because of
Mm-hmm.
course like we have to be creative during the pandemic, because like it's so scary, number one, to like have outside help because you don't know where COVID is right now. So
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
much as possible we try to keep things tight within the
Mm-hmm.
family, because like everyone's at home, everyone has free time. So whenever that free time comes, they help out in the kitchen. That's also one of the reasons why we only do Hungry Homies on the weekends.
I see.
So
Okay.
definitely, like, goals in the future would definitely be to have a restaurant. But for
Okay.
now, I think what makes our burger so special is that we make sure that each burger that goes out is the best tasting burger that you can possibly have.
Okay. So, what are your best sellers when it comes to your burgers?
Our burgers, actually, like we sell 4 burgers at the moment. So we
Okay.
started off with the hype beef, which is our Cali style burger.
Mm-hmm.
So all the burgers that we sell are actually from my experience traveling
Okay.
like in the US as well, and trying out like
Mm-hmm.
different burgers along the way. So
Mm-hmm.
since I've had this experience of like, okay, this is what a burger should taste like. If you've been to like In and Out or like the Shake Shack, there are certain standards to what makes a
Okay.
good burger. So I just
Mm-hmm.
wanted to bring that, like I think same as Chino, like I wanted to
Yes.
bring that
Yes.
same experience and quality back here in Manila.
Okay.
So that's what we're trying to do.
Oh, so this is the one, no? Hype beef? Tama ba?
Yes, that's the hype
Wow.
beef. So we started out selling one product. That's
Okay.
our first product actually, and then we try to make an event out of it. Like if you want to
Okay.
launch something new, like we can add to the menu. So parang I came from PR and events. Eh. So for
Mm-hmm.
me to
Mm-hmm.
keep things interesting,
Yes.
like
Yes.
I wanted to give people who follow our social media pages something to look forward to, something to get them excited.
Okay.
So it's really the business, more than just selling burgers. It's really building a community of burger lovers,
Okay.
if that makes any sense. Because we try to engage with as many of them as possible.
Okay. You have your first question here, Miggy. Oh, wait. I'll just show it to you. There. How do you keep your burgers safe with the pandemic thing? Sabi ni Jen.
Um, Burger safe? You mean like in terms
Yes.
of like food handling?
Food safety and food
Food
handling.
safety.
Yes. Yeah.
So for food safety, we've definitely in our kitchen we follow all the safety guidelines and protocols. In terms of like the packaging design, we make sure that there are seals in
Mm-hmm.
place so that like for example when the burgers are in transit, they're tamper proof in a way. So never receive any burgers that are like opened up already because you'll never get those from us.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Chino, can you tell us more about your business? Since I understand everything is online. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it you have plans of putting up a showroom for the furniture that you're selling?
Um,
Just doing
I'd
it the old
say
style? Yeah.
I think that's definitely open in the future. We are primarily an e-commerce company. We
Mhm.
specialize in reaching people and serving people online, but our commitment is not definitely to the internet. Our commitment is to the customer, and if we
Okay.
believe that our customers would like to feel the products, to see them, I think they
Mm-mm.
often do. Actually, we entertain some during GCQ. We would have some walk into our office slash warehouse to try and test the products, but yeah, well, same with Miggy. We'd love to open like a store, a floor in the future, so a lot more people can see it. And I just wanted to share. I resonate with you a lot, Miggy. I when I began with my
Mm-mm.
friends, it was really just a passive income thing. My original intention, if you asked me back then, was I wanted passive income on the side. So when I
Yeah.
work in government, I don't have to be corrupt. But it kind of got away from me. The potential was so big. Actually, in the beginning in 2017, 2018, I did get a job and I did work in government. I was invited to work with Vice President Lenny Robredo's team. So I worked for the Office of the Vice
Oh,
President.
okay. Mm-mm.
And I juggled it at the same time. It was so difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I would not recommend it, especially working in government for Vice President Lenny. Hi, ma'am, if you're watching. But yeah, it was very stressful.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw the potential. I saw that we were serving people. I saw that people actually believed na we were providing their office furniture better than what other people were providing them on the market. So I quit. I left to pursue my business full time. And it's a funny story because si Vice President Lenny, she actually wanted one of my products and she didn't
Okay.
notice from me. So my office mate was using one of the foldable desk stand, laptop stands, and she
Uh-huh.
pointed at it and she said she wanted it.
Uh-huh.
And then people told her that it was from my business. But
Uh-huh.
then when I gave the product to her, I also at the same time told her that I was going to resign because I was actually going to pursue this business full time.
Mm-hmm.
Hi ma'am. She actually ordered again. I saw. Hope she enjoyed it.
I think that's the
Solid.
one she uses at home, yun ba yun? Because you,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. She's a very hard worker at home.
Okay. So how does your business go? So, aliba, I'm a customer. I go through your website, and then I choose tama ba? I choose whatever I want, and then I order it online. And how long will this take for delivery and all?
We really push to deliver, if not same day, next day. So we order a lot in stock. So that's what actually in the e-commerce field, a lot of
Uh-huh.
other places are trying to do. That's actually what the book that I read recommended. So you don't have to put any capital upfront.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Don't order the stock first. And then just wait until they order, and then maybe ship it 2 weeks, 3 weeks later. For
Mm-hmm.
us, we want to give our customers a much more delightful experience. So if the item is in stock, and unfortunately we're out of stock, it's a happy problem all that very often.
Uh-huh.
But when we are in stock, we deliver it same day, next day. They look at so they go to the website. There's a lot of different options.
Okay.
We have a lot of nice pictures for them to choose from. But then when we do deliver same day, next day, that's actually in our customer reviews. What people talk about the most, what I found was in the e-commerce industry as a whole, one of the
Mm-hmm.
biggest pain points is that people wait too long. And I actually think that for furniture, for larger investments, more expensive, bulkier,
Yeah.
people would be used to waiting, like maybe a couple of
Mm-hmm.
days, weeks, like our competitors. But when we give it to them same day, next day, they're so delighted. They actually often come back talaga because they want to get more kagad.
Oh yeah, that's true. So how much did you put in when you started your business? What was your capital?
Well, between the three of us,
Yeah.
our best friends, we put in about 300,000 pesos. Yes, this is our website.
Mm-hmm.
Feel free to order. But now, thankfully, we don't have any more. We didn't put any additional investment. We didn't receive any more outside investment. But
Okay.
now, 300,000 is the sales we might do in a day.
Wow.
So
Okay.
we have grown a lot since then. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
right before the pandemic, we were in a very small office, like the size of a closet,
Uh-huh.
and it was me, my co-founder, and an intern. So we were three. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
February 2020. Now we're approaching 50 people.
Okay.
In a three-story office,
Wow.
delivering nationwide.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And yeah, same with Miggy. I never expected it to be this big, but I guess I originally, one of the biggest barriers for me to starting it was like, who am I to start a business? I had this
Mm-hmm.
assumption that if there was any good idea out there, it would have already been done by
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
bigger people, by people with more
Yeah.
money, by older people. But
Yes.
I think overcoming that was,
Okay.
the biggest challenge. But once we saw that, hey, you know what, we can actually do something better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The growth just didn't stop. And for me, now I think it trumps what how productive I can be for society. Even working in government, and I feel this is a new way to serve my country. For me, I am most satisfied and most pleased when I see we hire an additional person
Mm-hmm.
when
Mm-hmm.
payroll comes out.
Yes.
And actually, I'm very happy because majority of my employees are earning a lot more than I did when I was working
Oh.
in government. So
Oh, good for
that's a big
them.
point of pride for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I have another question here for Miggy. There you are, Miggy. Question for Sir Miggy Cruz from Nafanya Vela. How much was your capital when you started Hungry Homies?
Maliit lang. Hindi parang sila Chino. No. Well, I think I just want to react to what Chino said. Yung parang sino ba naman ako to like start something. I think that's like really an entrepreneurial like mindset to start off kasi parang you want to challenge yourself first. Parang
Mm-hmm.
like sino ba naman ako, and then like you'll just like take on the challenge and just go with it and just run with it.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, the starting capital for Hungry Homies was I think a little less than 10K,
Okay.
a little less than 10K because it really started me selling burgers.
Mm-hmm.
Started out September of 2020.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was the first. That was I remember it was the birthday of my sister.
Okay.
So yeah, so parang Aniv, September 15 was like the first time we sold burgers to like friends. So like
Mm.
I posted on my Facebook, my personal Facebook page na parang, oh, we're selling burgers. We're selling like mga I think 15 burgers. So like message me if you wanna reserve one, and then I will send it to you on this day. And then
Mm-hmm.
parang from there, it just started growing. From that 10,000 na capital, totoo kasi yung sinasabi nila word of mouth is still king, especially
Yeah.
now that everything's digital. Like
Mm-hmm.
the growth of word of mouth is exponential, especially if the reviews that you're getting are organic.
Mm-hmm.
So like for us, what really helped was homies like really like homies sharing like photos of our burger, telling people how good it is without us even having to tell them like what to say. Parang they
Mm-hmm.
just really share their authentic experience because
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, I think that's what's most important. And during the course of lockdown, kasi we realized that how much food brings everyone closer.
Yeah.
So in terms of like handling the entire business, like of course, like you want to take care of your margins, you want to take care of like your overhead and stuff like that. For us, our primary priority is to really make sure that the customer experience is as if like there was a restaurant, or it's as if they're really talking to like real people, not just talking to
Mm-hmm.
bots replying to them while they try to like ask certain questions in the page, or like try to make their orders through the page. Because honestly, like even if you DM in our Instagram account or our Facebook account, you'd be surprised because it's still me who's answering all those
Mm.
inquiries. Like when people ask na parang, oh, what's your bestseller? I tell them na parang, oh, actually we don't have a bestseller.
Yeah.
Each burger is designed to like hit the spot of like, if you're like a barbecue burger fan lover, this is the burger for
Mm-hmm.
you. If you're like if you want like a veggie na burger, this is like the burger that you should choose. So parang I try to make each customer experience authentic, organic, and like basically it's like you're talking to a homie whenever you message us. Kasi it's just me. Parang ako lang to. So
Okay.
um I think people resonate a lot with that, more than when the brand is like just all just aesthetic, focusing on like what it looks good. I think people
Mm-hmm.
resonate with the conversations as well. They appreciate the tips that we give them. They appreciate like how we accept their feedback as well. Because for example, when someone it started out like, for example, someone said na parang, oh, I think your burgers need a little bit more salt.
Mm-hmm.
I take that to heart. So I'm like, okay, sige, like the next batch, I will
Add a
salt
little
that thing
more.
a little heavier. So until we perfected the recipes for all our burgers.
Okay.
So constantly improving is part of it. And the
Mm-hmm.
capital, like after a while, you don't even think about the capital anymore because you're just
Yeah.
really rolling it
Yeah. Yeah.
week in, week out.
Okay. There's another question for you here. You were telling us about this kanina. Where do you source your materials, Chino? Diba? You were saying it was a community effort.
Um,
Can you tell
for
us more? Ah, si Chino ba
it
to? So, yes, correct. Sorry,
Yeah,
ikaw yun.
our products come from many different places. So we source, for example, our tabletops locally, from woodworkers here, well, in Metro Manila,
Okay.
some in China, some in Singapore, actually. And we're constantly looking for actually better and better items. What we see recently is that we have a lot of customers looking for more and more premium items. So now we're in talks with suppliers from Germany, suppliers from Korea, because our commitment is really bringing the best in the world to our country, to our customers, to Filipinos. And same thing. I resonate with your experience, Miggy. I think one of the keys to the success the relative success we've been fortunate of to see is really a commitment to the customer. When I receive like a bad item online, I feel so bad. And for me, I take it as an extreme point of shame. I don't want to take your money if you're not satisfied. I don't want to take your money if sira yung item.
Uh-huh.
Um, for me, how I imagine it is, I as the owner founder, if somebody buys a product, I want to be able to stand there and they
Mm-hmm.
receive the item, and I should have no shame. So for me, with my team, for example, what I really push is, guys, mahiya naman kayo if there's a defect, if we didn't work hard enough to do quality assurance. That's not fair for the customer. So when we make business decisions, when people have complaints, etc., etc. Similar thing. Um, we don't really look at the profit. We don't really look at how much are we going to lose. For me, we didn't even deserve to profit on that deal, so we'll take it back. We'll repair it for free. We'll repair it today. We'll repair it tomorrow. And I think I often share to my team, how I see it is, we should really be focused heads down all the time in serving our customers and making sure they're pleased, that they're getting the best deal. The profits will take care of themselves if you focus on that. what I see often with other businesses, unfortunately, I feel this is like a source of possible failure, is when they're too protective, when they focus too much on how much they are going to take home. I think you actually feel that in a business when you receive the product and it's not good. Or you message them about the concern and it's radio silence.
Yeah.
For me, you're probably talking to an entrepreneur, somebody who is really just trying to make money and doesn't really care about who receives or who gives them that money. For me, I think our growing customer base and our growing sales is really a product of that commitment to them and just making sure that, okay, you know what, profit or not, we're going to serve you well. We are pretty profitable, I'd say, fortunately, but that's really not our main concern when we do business every day.
Okay. Can you tell me about how did you get in touch with Xendit? Yeah, why Xendit? And did you have any problems with your payment systems?
For me, for example,
Yes,
I
for
had
your
a
team.
huge problem.
Okay.
We were using an international payment processor, PayPal,
Uh-huh.
and besides the transaction fees being really high, so it was really a strain on us as a startup. I paid myself nothing. I paid myself almost nothing, slave wages. My Ateneo batchmates were earning so much, and then I was like, oh my god, I'm making zero. So every peso really counted.
Uh-huh.
When Sendit came in, they offered cheaper rates. They were a
Uh-huh.
lot more approachable. We
Mm-hmm.
also had another a huge problem where a lot of our payments got frozen. So
Okay.
we had like 1 million pesos frozen in our account, and to a startup, 1 million pesos is like a billion pesos. So I was extremely stressed, and I actually found out there's a global community of stressed people from PayPal
Oh,
because their accounts were frozen
okay.
also,
Yes,
and
yes.
they were having super huge problems with their business. So I tried everything. I messaged them on Facebook. I called. I emailed again every day.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
But you
mm-hmm.
know what? Surprisingly, what worked is messaging them on Twitter.
Oh,
We got a faster response when we did that, and pero we didn't go back to them with that much business anymore. Now we would send it. It's cheaper. They have actually a lot more products that help us as well. So they
mm-hmm.
help us disperse our payroll, some few refunds, and it's a lot more accommodating and affordable.
Okay. You, Miggy, why did you need Sendit to help you with your business?
Actually, it has a lot to do with, I think, similar with Chino,
Uh-huh.
in terms of like growing the business, and like making sure that the customer experience is still top notch.
Mm-hmm.
Yun kasi yung parang tinatry namin alagaan in terms of like when we scale. Like in terms of when we scale, our priority is that the customer experience doesn't change or it
Uh-huh.
will make it better.
Uh-huh.
So for me, like since my team is quite lean, technically
Mm-hmm.
it's me, my girlfriend Lorene, who helps me out with marketing stuff, my brother who helps me out with operations. I'm the one who handles like the one with Send It, the one the payment channels, the website. So I wanted to free up a lot of my time
Mm-hmm.
because like I would rather focus my time on making sure that the customers like, are getting the service that they're looking for. So I started out using like a jot form, which is like a parang like any business, it's a
Mm-hmm.
manual like sign up form to reserve a slot. And then
Okay.
I used to like confirm all payments manually when they send me the deposit slip via email or via DM
Mm-hmm.
on
Mm-hmm.
Same
Viber or
hassle.
Instagram. So like that's really a pain point of every small business owner
Okay.
right now
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
because like as much as you want to focus on your product, you want to focus on your customers,
Uh-huh.
so much time is getting eaten up just confirming payments
Yes.
and just making sure that okay, because as a paying customer, the last thing that you want to experience is no one to acknowledge that your payment has been received because
Yes.
it's
Yes.
basically floating money for them. So with Send It kasi, it allowed us to like give our customers a gateway wherein they can pay.
Mm-hmm.
They can be very they feel very secured that they will like input their credit card details or their Gcash details or their Paymaya details. Like kahit anong payment option na hinahanap nila, like it's all there.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's powered by Xendit, so they know that it's a reputable brand, or like there's a brand behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really a no-brainer for me to like add Xendit to my Shopify website, because
Okay.
it just makes the whole payment process and the customer experience that much better.
I see.
And it frees me up. It frees me up
Mm-hmm.
to come up with new burger flavors. It frees me up to talk to more customers. It frees me up to like innovate and how like think of ways to grow the business aside from just collecting payments.
Uh-huh.
Because
Uh-huh.
the payment part, I just look at it maybe like once or twice a week to make sure that
Oh, okay.
things are in order.
Mm-hmm.
So it it just like frees up so much of my time, and it allows me to grow the business even more. Because the payment thing, it should like once you have a trusted payment facility or like
Yes.
payment processor like Send It,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like wala malaki yung mababawas sa worries mo as a business owner
Okay.
talaga.
So you mean to say, Sendit helps you collate all the money they receive for
Yeah,
you? Tama ba? It helps you
yeah.
collate? Ganun din, Chino, with you? It helps you collate, alimbawa, they one cents from GCash and then one cents from Paymaya. You just look into your Sendit account and you can see everything. Tama ba? Is that how it goes?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So before I was the same. Maybe 2 hours of my day would be checking on that. And let's say I'm pushing for new marketing initiatives or new
Uh-huh.
products. I'm checking them out. I have to stop and be a bit of a bookkeeper because a customer is waiting as well because we can't
Yes.
we don't send out the order first. So it freed up so much of my time. So yeah, similar experience. As a bootstrap startup, you're doing everything,
Mm-hmm.
but when you can free up your time for the smaller, less important things, the things that don't directly touch your customer and make your product, make your business better,
Okay.
I think those are the things that really, really help you grow so much more and help you serve customers better.
Okay. Here's one question that you can both answer. From Maricel Valdez Davad, what challenges did you face when it comes to the country's digital infrastructure? For you, Miggy.
Mm, I think the biggest like the digital infrastructure, I think wasn't that much of a challenge because I didn't want it to play that big of a role. Like, of course, like everything's online, like
Mm-hmm.
everything's website based, but in target market of Hungry Homies kasi is those who are also online. It's my our burgers are Instagram burgers in a way. Na parang when you see it on socials, like you'll know you'll want to find a way to get your hands on it.
Okay.
But there I think there's a huge chunk of people on the internet right now just looking for something to do. So like
Mm-hmm.
we just want to take advantage of that wave. I think
Uh-huh.
online shopping is on the rise. I think everyone has access to internet, whether it be like in any way, shape, or form. Internet has been so crucial, especially
Mm-hmm.
for us during the lockdown,
Mm-hmm.
that it doesn't really pose that much of a challenge to slow internet. I mean, slow internet hindi mo naman kailangan super fast internet to
Okay.
order through our website, so it's not really that hard for us.
Mm-hmm.
But I think pinaka-challenge na yung some customers are not used to the digital experience.
Mm-hmm.
So as much as possible, when we encounter customers that don't want to order through the website or don't want to pay online,
Uh-huh.
we still accommodate them. We try to educate them as well as to how to make life easier for them for their next
Mm-hmm.
order. But
Mm-hmm.
we I mean, we try to accommodate everyone with what they're comfortable with. Kasi hindi mo rin naman siya change overnight. I think that's the finding the balance between being purely digital and also helping out those who are just getting started in the digital landscape.
Mm-hmm. How about you,
So
Chino? Yeah, sorry.
go ahead.
Yeah.
For me, I'd say definitely largely with before we were using Sendit, like confirming
Uh-huh.
payment, just going back on that, we would be scared because if a payment of the same amount came at roughly the same time, We wouldn't know who's who. So Xendit providing the digital infrastructure to confirm payments easily, instantly, that was a huge help. But I think second for us as e-commerce with physical products, especially that are large, the transport services sometimes were also a bit of a challenge. So I'd say that's also digital infrastructure. How somebody on the road randomly will know that we need to deliver something from point A to point B. When we were exploding in growth, we had so many deliveries to do. We would get sometimes, there are several transport network services here, but let's say a driver comes in, he doesn't know what to do, or we'd have to book so many, and it would be extremely tedious. They've improved largely right now,
Mm-hmm.
but I think there are still the same problems in terms of the transport network services still struggling with managing their drivers, with managing their systems. So it's hard for us to really focus on just providing better products. If you look at the states, for example, I'm sure that there would be so many options, very professional, very streamlined.
Mm-hmm.
And understandably, as a developing country, we're not just there yet. But yeah, I think the delivery side was something that we struggled with. But over time, they improved, and also we improved on how to manage that as well.
Okay. Another follow-up question from Maricel here. Fintech wise, how ready are your customers? You were making kwento kanina, Miggy, that some of your customers still don't know how to pay online.
Yeah, I think that's normal,
Yeah.
especially for our country that, I mean, like, I used to work in marketing before. I used to work for a
Uh-huh.
gas company before. And at that time, like, even credit cards was like an issue. Like,
Yeah.
not a lot of Filipinos like using credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
So, but now, there are so many fintech apps that you can use to pay. I think more and more Filipinos are becoming more accepting of, like, those digital payment channels, payment facilities,
Mm-hmm.
that it just makes the online transactions so much easier.
Uh-huh.
I think yun nga, you saw the rise of GCash, you saw the rise of like Paymaya,
Yes.
and even like yung mga BDO Pay. So many new apps, so many new fintech apps like coming up. Um, but for me talaga, for my business, like Sendit was able to, like, I think the word for this is to streamline and
Uh-huh.
consolidate everything into one payment platform, which makes it
Okay.
so much easier talaga. And for those who aren't fintech ready, I think it's just a matter of like really helping them out, guiding them step by step, and educating them. Parang this is like the more convenient
Uh-huh.
process, like in the long run.
Okay. How about your customers, Chino? Are they
I
like
think
that?
pretty same. Some of them
Mm-hmm.
are older. Some of them actually ask us to fulfill the order for on their behalf because they're intimidated by a general online order process, which is just kind of funny. But we're happy to help. But I think it's definitely changing.
Okay.
I think before people would even ask like, what is even this sended thing?
Mm-hmm.
Like is my money safe here? But over time, I think with especially even the older generation getting used to shopping online, getting used to credit card payments, online payments, mas nasasanay na talaga. They don't really ask about that as often, and now it's really just seamless, right? They don't even notice it anymore.
Okay. I have one question for you here, Chino, from Sari Osorio. Chino, what has been your most satisfying moment in business?
Um, I'd say it was I had a shipment coming in, and oftentimes it comes at night, 12 a.m., 1 a.m. And early on, I would join
Mm-hmm.
my warehouse teammates. So these guys, they used to work in hotels, they used to work in restaurants, etc., etc., service sector. We found them. Actually, we employed a lot of people who lost their jobs during the pandemic. I think that was satisfying.
Okay.
But I'd say the culmination of that was after we worked, we brought down a lot of boxes, a lot of furniture. They libred me. With Jollibee. I really appreciate that. Whenever it's lunchtime and and they see that I haven't eaten anything, parang clockwork, there's food that comes in. I actually take pictures of everyone. Kasi I feel na it's not really a transactional relationship with my employees. For me, I'm so happy that I get to give them this. They have this opportunity with me, and it was in the conversation after they gave me the food. They call me Boss Chi. Boss Chi, dito talaga sa stance, ano parang ramdam mo talaga na may pake yung boss yung kumpanya sa'yo. They shared na
Mhm.
where they came from, hotels or restaurants or fast food chains. Anything good you do, they won't notice it. Pero you mess up once and you're dead to them, and
Yeah.
you don't exist.
Mhm.
So for me, it's actually uniquely our sales did increase, and I realized that I wouldn't really have to worry about money anymore. And I think that was honestly what was motivating me originally.
Mhm.
My batchmates, I'm from Ateneo business course, very prestigious business course. They were working in McKinsey, Unilever, P&G, and that was the only success that I knew. For me, success equals corporate. Success equals
Uh-huh.
six-figure salary when you're young.
Same.
But same, right?
Nagre-react si,
And actually,
si Mickey.
hopefully, people listening, um, they see that there's another way. It's not just financially rewarding, but I'd say spiritually rewarding as well if you do it right. Um, because I think when I did see that our sales were climbing up to the six figures in a week or a month, it didn't really motivate me, and it didn't really motivate me anymore. I'm not really a luxury guy. I don't like fancy things. I wear the same clothes that I have been since college and high school. My batchmates still see that I'm wearing the same clothes. So it didn't really change. That was what I was
Uh-huh.
searching for the whole time. I want to make millions. I do, I want to not be able to work anymore. But when I got it, it was like, okay, now what? Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares if I can get a nicer car? Who cares if I can get a bigger house? Those things don't matter to me. But now I'd say the most satisfying thing is giving jobs to people and directing them in their work for something that has purpose. We're not here to clock in, clock out, get a salary, and then leave,
Yeah.
take people's money and then
Mhm.
leave. But we're here to really help people. And yeah, it kind of resonates me extra special because my dad for a while struggled with finding a job. So
Mhm.
whenever we hire an in-house motorcycle driver, whenever we hire somebody in our warehouse, for me, I imagine it's my dad. And then, uh, yeah, I'm so thankful to give them an opportunity for their families as well.
Okay. I have one question from our publisher, Thad Kabangon. How much transactions do you make per month in terms of peso value? Will you be at liberty to tell us this?
I think Miggy, you can
Si
begin
Miko.
there.
Uh, I think not to give out a specific. I think it's enough. Like I think like
More
I don't
than
want to give out.
10,000 than your
I don't.
capital.
Oh naman. But like I think the important thing kasi is I think I just feel really lucky that despite our situation, despite the pandemic, despite the lockdown, our business, of course, I'm speaking for myself.
Uh-huh.
I don't have to worry about food the next day, or I don't need to.
Mhm.
We all know that there are bigger things to worry about talaga when it comes to like our current situation. So right now, I'm just really thankful that I don't have to worry about may papang sweldo sa mga tao, or like meron akong enough for like the next pop up. Like I have enough to like keep growing.
Mhm.
So in terms of like transactions, I think more than enough, more than what I think I deserve.
Uh-huh.
Is my answer to this question.
Okay. How
That's a
about
great
you,
answer, Miggy.
Chino? How about you, Chino?
Uh, well, I would actually we're exactly the same. More than enough. um, so yeah, it is quite a lot, and it's something that I never expected as well. But actually, we do have a hard time actually financing our maybe a bit different from Miggy,
Mhm.
our operations, because for example, when we order things and it takes about 1 to 2 months to get in, we have to pay for like 2 months worth of stock, and if we're gonna
Mhm.
grow,
Mhm. Yeah.
then we have to put out maybe twice as much money that we brought in this month.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, we do see days nga where uh the original starting capital that we had, like for that lasted us for a year, like we just make back in a day. So yeah, really happy about that.
Okay, I think I'll just ask you. This will probably be my closing question for you two. I saw it here somewhere. There. This is from Yonila Garcia. Good morning. Would you like to share startup tips for entrepreneur wannabes, especially at this time of the pandemic? You go first, Chino.
For me, I think one, as I shared, my biggest barrier to even moving more in my business was the belief that if it was a good idea, it would have already been done.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are so many new things that have come up, new products, new
Uh-huh.
services, new technologies. And the Philippines can actually do better. A lot of our existing businesses and industries can do better. And yeah, it's not impossible. So yeah, that's one definitely. Don't think that it's impossible. Don't think na sino ba naman ako. I think na sometimes it can come from really random places rin. I know of and have friends who have a very successful businesses who didn't study business at all,
Mm-hmm.
etc. etc. But I guess my second tip would be, learn very, very aggressively, very voraciously, see what articles, podcast, videos, books that you can take on to, learn more about your industry, learn more about running a business. As I mentioned with Mickey, perhaps he would agree, but my business course in Ateneo did not prepare me so fitly to really start my own business. Yeah, for example, our very first sale, which was to a relative's company. So maybe, well, I'd say that it counts. I was there with my co-founder, and we were standing in front of the desk, and they were asking for a receipt. We did not know how to make a receipt. That is not something that they taught us in business school. So it was constantly learning about, how do you make an ad on Facebook? How do you make a
Uh,
receipt? What's a
yeah.
purchase order? What's that? So yeah, just keep on learning. And then I guess uh last one is really focus on your customer. As Miggy and I shared, I see a lot of businesses, they put out products that nobody would really like,
Mm-hmm.
or they put out offerings that are not really, the best, not really fair. And I think that comes from when you're too focused on earning, when you're too focused on,
Mm-hmm.
ooh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna make a business, and you
Yes.
lose sight of, hey, actually you're asking somebody to, kindly take an offering that should be good enough for them. So yeah, always focus on your customer and always see that business is actually a vehicle for you to service them better. So I guess one, don't think it's impossible. You can do it. Two, learn from everywhere and expect na you will have a lot of things that you don't know yet. And then third would be focus on providing customer. And if you do that, the profits and the growth will come.
Hey, thank you, Chino. How about you, Miggy? What would you like to share? Your
Ako for
startup
me,
tips.
like for the startup, like for the entrep wannabes and stuff like that, I think it's all in the mindset. Like when you start off in your entrepreneurial journey, like it's so tempting kasi to think of like overnight successes. Like alam mo yung mga overnight mayaman ka na. Like
Yeah, yeah.
it rarely ever happens
True.
because for me, start off small, start off with what understand your capabilities when you start out, and then try to add as much value as possible. So even with our burgers at Hungry Homies, we started out with
Okay.
10,000 pesos, and you slowly build, slowly like learn the business, learn how to get better
Mm-hmm.
in the business. Because even right now, even when we talk about send it, like like making life so much easier for all of us, it took us a while to get to that level wherein we
Yeah.
needed send it na. Kasi
Uh-huh.
syempre, for send it to be worth it, you need to be able to build a customer base that
Mm-hmm.
makes it so much worth it. So when you're just really starting out, focus on your product, focus on the customer experience, and
Mm-hmm.
same with Chino. Like there's a need for you to have this continuous pursuit of like getting better.
Yeah.
Kasi once you stop wanting to learn new things about the industry or like the business that you entered, that's when you stagnate. That's when you hit that glass ceiling. So like for me, I always look outwards. I look at
Mm-hmm.
what people do in different countries or like what's not being done. Like what other I mean, what do businesses here don't do yet? Para
Mm-hmm.
lang we offer something different. And for us,
Okay.
it's really making the customer experience still similar, even though it's
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
digital, even though it's different. They feel
Yes.
like there's like a personal touch to every transaction. Every burger that they eat is special, and I think that allowed us to really, grow the business exponentially because word of mouth is still king.
Okay.
Like if people say that your product is good, kahit dalawang tao lang yan, yung dalawang
Uh-huh.
tao yan have five friends who will see it. And
Yeah.
those
That's
five friends will order from you. And it will keep growing, growing, growing. And all you have to do is be patient, be
okay.
consistent, and like grind it out talaga. I think overnight successes, like there's like one in a million of those, like yung mga overnight yumaman agad. But
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
real entrepreneurship really is understanding how to add value, and it's a constant grind talaga.
Okay. Thank you so much, Miggy. Please take the time out to promote your business before we go.
So we have a few slots left for this weekend's pop up. So you can order through www.hungryhomies.ph. You can order and see our full menu on that website and pay, of course, like through our partner Xendit.
Okay. Thank you, Miggy. How about you, Chino? Please go ahead and promote stats.
Yeah, so if you're primarily working from home and you're tired, it's maybe you realize that you can be a bit more comfortable, you can work a bit better, you can live a bit more productively. Go to stansphilippines.com. We're constantly providing more and more things there for you, and then you can pay to send it. We also have, if you want, and then if at the end of the day you want to sleep, we have dreamcare.ph. We have blankets, pillows, beds as well for you there. Uh, if you want to improve your home, we also have furnishphilippines.com. That one is one of our baby brands that are continuing to grow. And then lastly, also actually Baby Strides and .ph. It's another baby brand where we're beginning to source the best baby products naman in the world at the best prices that we believe Filipinos deserve. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Miggy and Chino, for making this a very productive morning for us. And to end, I'd like to share this with you. Our country needs more Chinos and Miggys. Okay, thank you so
Thank
More
you,
much for
thank
Miggy's
you.
more.
joining
More
us.
Miggy's more.
Yeah,
Thank you so
and
much,
we'll see
Grabe,
guys.
you
grabe
again.
yung
Thank you.
chino. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much. And
Thank
we'll
you.
see you again next time for our next session of Freshly Brewed. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning.
Thank you. Thank you, Chino and Miggy.